Okay, this lesson is going to look at some more work on fractions, but this time we're going to focus on calculator methods and fractions in context, so in a sort of worded question. Now, before we get started, we should take the opportunity to look at the calculator in a bit more detail so that you know some of the major features. So first of all, there's the square root button. That will square root any number, so try using it to square root 36. You should end up with the answer 6. The fraction button itself will be very important today. That's that one there. However, if you want to type in a mixed number rather than a regular fraction, you need to press Shift in that button, and that will bring up the mixed number icon. You don't want to type in mixed numbers without using that. If you want to use a negative sign, it's this one, but do not use a subtraction sign when you want to indicate a negative value. This will give us any value to a certain power, and this really clever button right here will convert any fraction you have to a decimal or any decimal to a fraction. Okay, let's get started. Now then, what you might want to do at this stage is try to pause this video and have a go at trying some of these questions and see if you can use the buttons correctly on your calculator. But we're going to carry on and look at some worded maths questions now. So let's think about this. There's 600 pupils in a school. How many school lunches must be prepared if 3/4 of the pupils have school lunches? So that means I want to work out 3/4 of 600. So let's work that out. On your calculator, I would use the fraction button and type in 3/4. Now, what are you going to do with it? Well, finding out 3/4 is the same thing as multiplying, as we saw in the previous video. So we would try to do it in this method. So typing that in and pressing equals, we're going to get 450. Now then, if 2/3 of them have school lunches, we do exactly the same thing. 2/3 times 600, and that will be 400 pupils. Okay. In the next question, we've got to work out a perimeter and an area. Now, you should know already that the perimeter means all the way around the outside of a shape. So if we to work out the perimeter, we need to do the 2 1/4 along the top, and then we need to add on to that the 1 1/3, and then we need to add on to that the bottom length, which is going to be 2 1/4 again, and then finally the left hand side, which is another 1 1/3. So that's what we've got to do, but we can save some time. We could use this calculator for this, or we could just do this quick easy one together on the board. So let's add up the whole numbers first. Well, 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 makes 6. If we add the quarters together, we've got a quarter here and a quarter here, so that's going to be 2/4. And if we add the 2/3 here and here, we're going to have 2/3. So that's an easy, quick way to make some progress. We should already know as well, of course, that 2/4 is the same as a half. So I could even write 6 plus a half plus 2/3. Now this makes the question a lot easier. All we really need to do now is add a half and a third together. So if we do that on a calculator, we should find we get 7/6. So we've got 6 plus 7/6, which is 6 plus 1 1/6, which is 7 1/6. Now, if I want to work out the area, then we're going to need to multiply the two values together, because the area of a rectangle is, of course, the length multiplied by the width. So we need to do 2 1/4 multiplied by 1 1/3. Now this is a complicated one, so I would suggest pressing Shift and the fraction sign to bring up mixed number sign, and input then 2 1/4 into that, multiplied by Shift again, and then the fraction button, and then type in 1 1/3. Press equals, we get the easy and simple answer, 3. Okay, final question we're going to look at. A loaf of bread requires 3/4 of a kilogram of flour. How many loaves can be made from 6.5 kilograms of flour? Now, it's complicated here to know what to do, but in essence, perhaps a good idea would be to think of them as whole numbers first. If I was trying to, if it required 2 kilograms of flour to make a loaf, and I had, say, 8 kilograms of flour, then it would be quite easy to work out. I'm sure you could think what to do. So, of course, we're thinking 6.5 divided by 3/4. How many 3/4 are going to go into 6.5? So it's going to be a division. 6.5 divided by 3/4. So again, use the mixed number button on your calculator to work this out. And as I input these, we should be able to get the correct answer. Press equals, and we get 26/3. Now, what you could do, that's what your calculator gives you, but if you press the fraction to decimals button, or press shift in that button, it will convert it into a mixed number for you. So it saves all the energy, and the answer is we can make 8 2/3 of a loaf. Okay, that completes the work and the examples for this exercise. Off you go.